Hi everyone, how you doing? I am Mark, and this is episode 20 of Minecraft Stoneblock. And I am staring at our ender chest that basically gathers resources from all over our base and sticks them in our storage system. And as you can see, it's getting a lot of resources. And there are a couple reasons for that, which I want to go into shortly. Mostly I've been doing some upgrades around the base. But this is creating a problem because we're starting to get a backlog of resources and mob drops in various crates and machines around the base. So I need to address this, and I think the way I'm going to address it is I kind of need to leave this system attached to the mob drops because it handles the overflow of items when we run out of storage for them, and it also deals with loot bags, or it does deal with loot bags by sending them over to the loot bag storage unit over by the mob farm if we get random ones from elsewhere. But it also disposes of all the random armor that we don't care about. So this has to stay attached to our mob farm. The other big sort of ongoing resource generation that we have going on is our actual mystical agriculture farms and the wheat farm and rice farm that we use for power. And those we can split out pretty easily. So I am going to I went ahead and made another controller slave, which simply gives us another interface into our storage system of drawers. And I am going to go ahead. This is a white ender chest, which is the same as the one we were just looking at. But I am going to change this to, I think, yellow white, which means it's not going to have anything in it anymore until we go upstairs and do some work on our farms. So the farms have been upgraded too. And this sort of started our problem off. I've been upgrading these Inferium seeds. The initial thing that started all this was I wanted to make a bunch more seeds. And to do that, we needed a lot more Inferium. So I started upgrading Inferium seeds to tier 6. So this quadrant is all tier 6 seeds now. And as you can see, everything is growing a lot faster now too. And that's because I added a ton of growth crystals downstairs, which I'll show you in a second, because we're going to go down there to work on these drawers. Growing fast enough that I actually have turned off the redstone signal here. So this is running constantly now. We have plenty of power, so we're not concerned about conserving. And we're just getting a ton of Inferium now. I think we probably have a few thousand in here. I've been using it pretty steadily. Yeah, we have 23k, which is actually enough to kick off. I think we can probably kick off 2 more tier 6 seeds. And if you'll see in just a second, after this finishes calculating, tier 6 seeds take a lot of Inferium to make. And a lot of time to calculate. And by a lot, I mean a lot. So that's going to take 21k Inferium essence to make 2 seeds. So you can see why I want more Inferium. I also added a bunch of Master Infusion crystals, so this whole process is running faster. And you can see that it just cranks through this stuff, but it's going to take a long time. So we're going to leave that run. And if you were observant, you notice that I just did crafting remotely. I went ahead and made a wireless crafting terminal and set up the wireless connections to our AE system that we need so we can craft anywhere on the fly and see everything in our AE system, which includes the drawer system. The only thing we can't see with this is our overflow drawer down there. But since that's really not an issue anymore, that's fine. And I still do have somewhere one of these bags. I still have the storage the storage viewer that we were using before, whose name I can't remember. So you can see that there are a lot more tier 3 growth crystals down here. And this is really the main reason we boosted our speed of our farms. And I started to upgrade this one as well. I don't think I'm going to go as far here. But what I really want to do here is, I think it's actually going to let me sneak this on there. Yeah. So this is now yellow, 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 and it is feeding to that chest that we just changed the color of. And that is the only thing here that we need to worry about. So we need to do that in a couple other locations. Recall that we have 4 of these chests set up. And should be one over here. This is the wheat farm. And while I'm here, did I rename this? I did. Okay. I've been trying to name all our power nodes just so I have a better understanding of what's where. And if we look at the whole network, we can see that pretty much everything has been... Did I get them all? I did. Everything has been renamed. So I can sort of tell at a glance where everything is. I think... Oops, there's one more. This is the... What does this look like now? This is still really full. Looks like it's catching up, or at least it's getting Inferium from a mob drop. That looks like it's doing pretty well. It looks like it's keeping up with the load. So I'm going to leave that for now. I have gone through and added, well, I didn't add it to this one. No, it's not extract. I've added a bunch of extract modules. I haven't done this one actually. I don't think I need to because that one is actually keeping up. This is the roost. It's barely keeping up. I might have to upgrade that. Let's go ahead and do that. And oh, it's so nice to be able to craft anywhere. I'm going to just add 2 of these extract cards or extract boosters to that, just so we can empty out our roost a little faster. And if we look at the roost, yeah, it's emptying much faster now. And if we look in here, we may find that this is still not fast enough. We may have to split this again. We may have to actually do another ender chest with another slave controller and put a different color on this again. So for now, I'm going to leave those run and see where we come out. And we're going to take a look at a couple other things over here that I've done. So here's the wireless controller or wireless access point that we're using to access our network from anywhere in the base. And you can see that's using a lot of power to give us that wireless access. Basically, the more boosters you add, it increases the range of the wireless access point. And you could do it another way. You could wire out access points across the base and use less boosters per access point. I just went ahead and did one access point, and 288 meters covers our entire base plus a huge amount. So we're fine. We can use this anywhere in our base. I added another stack of processors, and that gives us more auto crafting space because we were once again running low. And I added some storage to our flux network for energy. And each of these holds 12.8 million RF. So we have a nice size buffer in our network. And I've upgraded this too a while ago. So this also has 32 million RF. So we have a good amount of energy reserve. This is only... I don't remember what this is. This is 10 million, which is 20 million RF, I believe. I might have that backwards. It's either 20 million or 5 million. I don't remember. I don't remember if it's 2 to 1 or 1 to 2. So let's go take a quick look at our storage just to make sure that these crates both look like they're doing a good job. So here's our farm input, and you can see we're getting what you'd expect from the farm. We're getting all the essences that we're growing, plus all the inferium that we're growing, and some seeds and wheat and rice seeds. Plus some sugarcane and cactus, which we really don't care about. We have plenty of that now. And over here, this one is just getting stuff from the mob farm and from our roost. And this still looks like it's struggling. Oh, it's also getting the substrate from our power system, but that's minor. That's really minor, so I'm not worried about that. I think we might have to split the roost out. Split the roost out. So I think I'm going to do that while we're here. I believe I have... Oh, that's a compacting drawer. I thought I had another slave around. All right. Well, let's do another slave. I did not think we would run out of torches that quickly. So we need 2 of these, and then I think we can just make our slave. We also need another ender chest. And we need item conduit. And we only need 1. Because pretty much everything is hooked up other than this slave that we're about to put down. So I'm just going to throw that there. I'm going to throw that there. This is insert. I'm going to put this drawer or chest here. Your extract, always active. And for now, because it's white, it's going to be getting all the same stuff. I'm going to go ahead and make... some extract upgrades, and I'm going to make 15 because that's how many you can fit in any particular interface. And they craft almost instantly. So I'm going to put this here, put those in there, and then I'm going to go ahead and eggs, let's go gold, yellow, gold, or yellow, white, yellow. Is it this one? I think it's this one. It is. So there is our roost. So now we can do yellow, white, yellow. And now this only has the roost output. And this should keep up nicely. And it looks like that's going to be fine. At some point, we may just hit the limit of how fast we can put stuff into our drawer system, in which case I'll have to consider shutting off some material sources so we don't overflow everything. And this is now just handling the mob farm, so that's fine. So we did a little upgrade there, so everything supply-wise should now be under control. And I do have one thing over here to look at. A couple things, actually. I went ahead and did another redstone furnace here. And this is a dedicated processing unit, so it really shouldn't be over here. But I wanted access to the A2 system easily, so I just stuck it here. And what this is doing is taking, there's a export bus on the back that is filtering all the mob chunks that we get from the mob farms into this, and it's cooking them and turning them into the generic, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 mob chunks. And if we look in here, if we look at chunk, we have just these vanilla mob chunks plus the experience chunks, which we really have no use for. Because these are used to make some of the seeds. I was actually working on blaze seeds, and for that we needed, I think, the tier 4. Yeah, we needed the tier 4 seeds to make the blaze chunks that we need to make the mystical agriculture blaze seeds, which is why I set that part up. One thing I did want to mention, last time we were working on automating the wither farm and getting nether stars automated, and it was just not working. And I finally figured out what was going on. Recall that we have this ender chest, which is black, 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 which our AE system dumps materials to make a wither into this when we request a nether star. And those materials go to our wither builder, which builds the wither, and then the mob grinder kills it and collects the materials and dumps it back in this chest. What I thought I had done was set up this import bus to only import nether stars. It turns out I didn't do that, and that was a whole problem, because what was happening was the materials for the wither were getting dumped into the chest, and this import bus was immediately pulling some of them back out, so the builder was not getting all the materials it needed to make all the withers that we requested. So it was basically only creating part of the wither and getting stuck. So I fixed this filter. I also added some of the loot, most of the loot actually, that we get from withers. So this chest should remain empty and our wither spawner should work. And if we look at nether stars, I did do a bunch of testing. So we have 154 nether stars. If we try and craft 10, it's going to send the materials and craft 10. And if we actually watch this, you can see we're making withers up top. And we're far enough away, we're probably not going to hear the explosions, but they're getting made and they're getting killed. And this crafting recipe should run to completion, knock wood. I think there's a possibility that this will fail, because if a wither explodes while a partially built wither is in place, it might destroy that partially built wither. I haven't seen that happen yet, but it is a possibility, I think. So something to keep an eye on. And as you can see, the craft completed, so I'm calling this fixed. I will have to keep an eye on this because the import bus is not big enough to collect all the loot bags that can potentially drop. We only have 9 slots here. I may add another import bus to add the remaining materials that this can drop. And that's it. It's fixed. It's working. We can make nether stars as many as we want as long as we have the materials. So just wanted to wrap that up and make sure I covered it before I left. So we now have all 4 of our mob grinders running. I went ahead and added a mob masher in there, so all 4 of those are active, and we're getting plenty of mob drops, as we have seen already. I also made this nice Solium broadsword, which I was kind of dumb when I did the daggers before, because this will drop chunks, and it's a tinker's tool, so we can do upgrades on it. And it's been sitting there grinding away on mobs for quite a while. I'm going to turn that off for a second. Let me just stick this in here so this gets cleared. Alright, it's empty now. I need to repair this. We can stick this in here, and that's our repair process, which is going to take... It has a lot of durability. Solium actually has quite a bit of durability. And we have a modifier on there, which I may actually figure out something to do. But I'm going to let that run for a minute. And what was I going to show you over here? There was something else I did over here I thought that I needed to show you. Oh, this is the other side of that loot bag chest. And it just dumps things straight into our loot bag storage. And we have 95,000 loot bags, so we're in good shape there. I've been running that pretty regularly to give us our growth crystals that I've been using to upgrade the farm. So I also did some construction. You recall way back when we were making our giant garden area, which I did actually do a little more work on. I kind of planted a bunch of, used a bunch of the Botania floral fertilizer to scatter flowers throughout. So it looks more gardeny than it did. Probably still need to do some work down there, but you know, I haven't really touched it since I did that. I think I might have to call it done. Back over here, I had originally done a couple things. I did this loop primarily to allow me to expand, but I also cut a very, 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 very long staircase which goes all the way up to the surface lava, because primarily I just wanted to see what the surface looked like. So let's take a run up here, and as we get to the top, you can see that there's a room with lava overhead, and I just glassed it in to give us an area up here. I don't know that I'm going to do anything with this. I could put some solar panels up here because I believe lava is transparent to solar. I might be wrong about that. But I don't think that's what I'm going to do. I kind of just did it as a fun project and to use a whole bunch of seared paver stairs. That took a while. Okay. The other thing I did was, this is that corner that we were just in that leads over to the stairs. I went ahead and cut out a new set of halls out here too. And I made a very large cylindrical chamber here, which doesn't have anything in it yet and is just bare rock. But I think what I'm going to do is use this to do some draconic evolution power storage. I'm going to build, I think, the tier 6 energy sphere and use that as sort of our central repository for power, because right now we're generating an okay amount of power. I'm planning on upgrading that and going for some big power. I haven't quite decided what yet. But this room has plenty of room for both the power sphere and for fusion crafting from Draconic, and possibly putting in a few of our environmental tech resource harvesters. You know, the Void Ore Miner and the Void Resource Miner and the Void Environmental... Is that what it's called? The Void Environmental Miner? I do want to build those. I don't know if I'm going to build them here or if I'm going to build those in the mining dimension. I will probably build a solar station from environmental tech over in the mining dimension, because the mining dimension is always daylight. I am going to continue with base upgrades. Namely, I'm going to be doing a lot more mystical agriculture. I will probably expand one of these farms. I'm going to continue to upgrade seeds and give us even more inferium to work with, so we can make some higher tier seeds. Specifically the ones we're going to need to make the energy sphere and some of the environmental tech stuff and some of the other draconic evolution parts, because we're going to need some higher tier materials for those, and we're just not producing enough of them yet. We need more blaze rods, we need more redstone, maybe not. We're doing a chicken for that. Anyhow, that is my plan, and I'm not going to do all that on camera because the seed processing is a lot of waiting around for inferium. Although we're back up to 11k already, so we can actually, we can go ahead and pull these 2 seeds out, and we can make another one. But this entire episode is how long it took for 1 seed's worth of inferium to accumulate. And, that's going to get faster as we make more seeds, but it's still a pretty slow and tedious process. So I'm going to try and not do all that on camera. And next time, I think we will probably be building our Draconic Evolution power storage system and changing around our Flux network a bit to accommodate that, because I want to use that as a central power repository with everything that's pulling power on one side and everything that's providing power on the other. So until then, thanks for watching the episode. I hope you enjoyed this sort of info dump base tour kind of thing. I will see you next time, and I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell if you want to hear when new videos go out. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.